Welcome to another episode of Star Wars Talk. I'm John Berry, and today I will be talking about the opening scene to Solo. And my question for you guys today is, what did you think of the opening scene from Solo? Let me know in the comments down below. So, what did I think of it? Well, I thought it was interesting. I kind of liked how it did a version of the crawl. It was, kind of pairing, not pairing, but correlating nicely to the A Long Time Ago's Galaxy Far, Far Away. I kind of like that. It separates the anthology films from the movies, and in a way, it's not too bad. Was it needed? I actually think a little bit, because I felt like I might have been lost. While I am a pretty big Star Wars fan, and I've been following the news for the movie and watching Star Wars videos and all that, I still think I might have been a little lost at first. Would I want other Star Wars anthology films to do it that way? Not necessarily. I was actually fine with the opening for Rogue One. I did prefer how Rogue One had the title of the film in space. I wish they had done that in Solo. That was probably the biggest thing about the intro. I did not like that, the fact that the title for Solo was shown in planet atmosphere and not in space. I don't mind it opening on a planet, but I kind of prefer the title for a Star Wars film to be in space like it was in Rogue One. If the anthology films open up on a planet, I'm actually kind of fine with that. In fact, I think what would have almost been a better way, so they could have kind of changed up, would have been fun how it had decided to get down to the ground, the camera pans up, and then we see the title in the sky. Now that would have been a good way of showing the title for the film in, still putting it in space, but yet the perspective being from the planet. That, I think, actually would be a good way to kind of call back to how it's normally in space, but still make it different. But overall, I actually did enjoy it. I enjoyed it more than I thought. I particularly enjoyed how the crawl was replaced with basically simple text that fade in and out in a pattern. I actually like that. Kind of remind me a little bit of how the Clone Wars intro was some kind of a motivational quote. Kind of a different way again, but still kind of use that blue text to signify that, okay, well, this is a Star Wars film. Again, Star Wars has to start with A Long Time Ago in a Galaxy Far, Far Away. Does the film need a crawl? I actually don't need to be crawl, but I did like the alternative. A good way of I think the word I'm looking for is setting the film up, setting the premise up so we know what's going on, which is very traditional for a Star Wars film. I don't really care for being just thrown into a piece of Star Wars content without some kind of crawl. It feels not quite right. We not have really thought about it till now, because this is the first time there's really been an alternative to a crawl really present, not an absence of a crawl like there was in Rebels and the Clone Wars, but a good alternative. The Clone Wars also had a good alternative, a motivational quote of sorts that fitted in with the theme of the episode. That was good. Solo has its own way. In a way, I wouldn't mind each film to have its own unique opening to set them apart, but kind of wish there was some way of calling back to the fact that the titles are traditionally shown in space, and that would have been, I think, need like some kind of interesting pan to show it like in the sky, when you're looking towards space from planet side. That, I think, would have been much more unique. While this certainly was unique, it felt kind of like any old film could have done it that way, having it just kind of in the skyline, right at the buildings, though the camera was kind of had a downward angle. If I had an upward angle, I think I might have enjoyed it a little bit better, because I would have implied much more that the title was in the sky, in space, kind of fitting the Star Wars tradition of having the title shown against the starfield. Still making it different, but I kind of wish it had been done that way. Small, I know, but overall I did enjoy the opening scene to Solo. The scenes on credit as a whole, I kind of felt like eh. And then there was that cheesy kind of where Han pretended he had a similar detonator trying to do a bluff. I was like, oh really? A reference to Return of the Jedi is so cheesy. It really was a reference to Return of the Jedi, and it was kind of cheesy. But I did like how it was clearly not a similar detonator, and there was just a round rock that was, in my opinion, a bit too round that he threw into a window to make an escape. I did actually like how it wasn't a direct rip-off, but I thought it was a bit cheesy that they even threw it in. It would have been much better for him just to get the rock out and throw it, or even pretend like hold it or something. I felt like that thing could have been done better in the intro, but overall, I did enjoy the intro, except for that one scene I thought was a bit too cheesy. But other than that, I thought it was fairly good. So there you have it, my thoughts on the opening scene for Solo: A Star Wars Story. As I stated at the beginning of the video, I would like to hear what were your thoughts on the opening scenes. So let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe to this channel for future Star Wars content, and consider giving a like if you enjoyed this video. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, links are in the description. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the Force be with you, always.